What is up, Power Ranger fans? Welcome to Off the Grid, a Power Rangers podcast. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and this is the show where we talk all things Power Rangers, whether that be television, movies, comics, toys, and collectibles. We cover it all here, anything cool going on in the world of Power Rangers. And today's episode is going to be straightforward and direct, pretty simple here. We are just talking Power Rangers Dino Fury, episode 2, titled Sporix Unleashed. And if you're wondering what the hell that title means, it is referring to the monsters of the show, the Sporix, who are being unleashed around the town, basically hatching from their little globby form or whatever it is. But yes, we will get to that in a second. Just want to wish everybody a happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing well in the middle of this first week of March. It's, not much going on in the world of Power Rangers, but there's a lot going on in the world of entertainment. We have the WandaVision season finale coming up here, and don't forget to check us out this Friday, Apocalypse Movies, with an X at the end. We are going to be covering WandaVision. We're going to do a spoiler breakdown. We're going to record our live reactions, basically just our facial expressions. We'll do a full season breakdown. Go to Apocalypse Movies and definitely check that out. And last but not least, before we get to the good stuff of the episode, please go to tpublic.com and get some off-the-grid merchandise, or you can get some Apocalypse merchandise, like I just mentioned. If you go there, search for creator Jake Berlin or type in Apocalypse, and you can find off-the-grid merchandise designed by Jake Berlin. He designs graphics for this channel. Shout out to him. Thank you, as always. And yeah, I mean, they got some cool stuff on there, and the logo for Off the Grid is awesome. You can get a bunch of different things with the logo on it. I need to get some more stuff myself. I only have a couple t-shirts, so definitely need to take my own advice there. But yes, not much going on in the world of Power Rangers, unless I missed something. I mean, I last prepared the notes this morning. And you might have noticed I'm not as tied in as like the diehard Power Ranger fans. I'm learning. Yes, I am a huge Power Ranger fan. Obviously, you have to do a podcast. You have to be, but I'm realizing I'm not like know everything about Super Sentai and all this stuff. I'm just an above average fan, but I'm nowhere near the top end of fans. So forgive me if I'm not, knowledgeable in every aspect of Power Rangers. I have only watched up to Dino Charge, and I am now watching Dino Fury. So yes, anyways, enough BS. Let's get to the good stuff. Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 2, Sporix Unleashed. We pick up basically right where we left off. The 3 Rangers are practicing their morphing call, and the Red Ranger's trying to train them on how to do it. One thing about this opening scene is I feel like with this season, they're trying to make it feel like it's higher quality than what it normally is. And that's cool because I don't think they're working with much of a bigger budget. So when you see them like practicing their morphing and the music seems all cinematic, and it just, I love the music when they're morphing, by the way. And it's weird. They said like 3 different things before they morphed, and then they said activate with the morphing grid or something like that. But then later on in the episode, when they morph really fast, it say link to the morphing grid. So maybe they're not going to say it's morphin time every single time, which is a good thing. I'd rather them say something else. And link to the morphing grid sounds pretty cool. But a couple other key things in this opening scene. They talk about the 6 statues. We know we are going to get more Rangers. He says the other 3 morphers are lost. So eventually we're either going to see other characters, new characters, take on these other 3 Rangers, or we'll see whoever his partners were come back and be Rangers. So that's coming. A big thing about this episode was the boost keys, I believe is what they called the little things that they call like video game upgrades that Ollie calls them. Is it Ollie? Is that Ollie? Is that his name? The Blue Ranger? Yes, it is. So you have these boost keys, and they could just basically, give the Rangers an extra weapon or give them something extra that they can do power-wise. We've seen similar things like that in Power Rangers lore, but that was a key factor of this episode. And that was pretty awesome. And then we go down to the cave with Solon, and they found the scanner, which they were using to track the Sporix. And the whole episode kind of revolves around that. Ollie wants to use the scanner to detect the Sporix. The other Rangers are like, no, we got to notify the town. Which is, I guess that makes sense. Every time when the Rangers or any superhero or hero is trying to figure something out, solve a problem, they never go, let's go notify the press so everybody knows and everybody is aware. So that was pretty cool of them to see. And probably one of the bigger things in this episode for me is last week I said I can't deal with the antennas on the Red Ranger's head, on Zeto's head. I can't deal with that all the time. As soon as they get into the public, they say, hey, you're going to have to blend in. And he's like, good point. And he makes the antennas disappear. And that was great. And following that moment, one of my favorite lines of this episode, Amelia the Pink Ranger says, retractable antennas, that's cool and freaky. Like, look, this is for kids, right? And that's charming. But I love her. They're making her the one who's geeking out about all this stuff. She geeks out about the Zords. She geeks out about the boost keys. And the other two guys are just like looking at her like, calm down. And she's like, getting frustrated. She's the geeky character who's freaking out about all this stuff. Kind of the one that the audience could kind of live through. And so far, she's been my favorite. The other two guys don't have much personality, so I'm not as attached to them, but I'm going to give them time to grow on me. And probably my second favorite character in the whole show is Ollie's mom. The Indiana Jones of the Power Rangers universe, if you will. Ollie's mom. First of all, I just like her persona, the way she is in the whole entire show. But also, when they fight the Sporix later on, when they fight the mucus Sporix, she wraps it in a freaking rope and throws it against a tree. Awesome. Not non-superpowered being. Pretty awesome. And mucus, I actually liked. Look, all these monsters are ugly and stupid in most Power Rangers shows. I actually liked Mucus. I thought the voice actor doing Mucus was entertaining, like very entertaining. So that was kind of cool. But look, I talked about last week limited cheese, right? They don't have a Bulk and Skull character. They don't have these, half the episodes stupid, cheesy, fun, half the episodes like epic, cool mythology stuff. They didn't really have that in the first episode. This episode had a little bit of cheesiness. Now, because last episode, they're just getting straight to the point, no nonsense. This episode, first of all, why in the world would one of the boost keys, and the first boost key you ever show on this show is like a fart noise, and it stinks, and it irritates the monster, and that's a way of attacking the monster. I don't need any of that. Not even the 8-year-olds that you're targeting. They don't need any of that. It's just because you're targeting kids doesn't mean you have to stoop down to fart jokes. When kids are watching these things, yes, it's for entertainment, maybe to learn a lesson at the end of the episode, whatever the case is. But they're also developing themselves as creative thinkers, whether that means being creative themselves or, analyzing things, analyzing creative works and criticizing them. So they see, a stink bomb as a boost key for these Power Rangers, and it alters their perception of quality in a way, in my opinion. Like, if they like it, then it's like, oh, poop joke's cool. If they don't like it, then it's like, oh, maybe they don't like the show. And there's more to that point that I was trying to make. It's like, I don't want kids to grow up thinking, a fart joke is a cool thing to do creatively, basically. Because that's low-hanging fruit. But I do like what the boost keys do later on. All right, one of my notes I wrote that, Ollie and Amelia, they attack the monster as it grows before the Zord shows up with boost keys, and they just as the Power Rangers. So she use a boost key to put a weight on its weapon, brings it down. He attacks it from a building with the boost key. So that use of the boost keys was cool. Another moment of cheesiness was when they go back to Buzz Blast and Jane, I believe is her name, like the boss in charge there. She has a robot that she calls J-Borg, and they show J-Borg sign some papers and pick up some stuff. That was weird. I don't know what they're doing with that. Is that robot character going to become a Power Ranger or something? If not, if that robot sticks around, it's going to be doing stupid, funny things. It's going to be like the Bulk and Skull of this show, which we'll see. I don't need any of that. Talked about that a lot. We got to see the first Zord here, the T-Rex Champion Zord in action. Nothing crazy, but the action was pretty cool when he was fighting the big horse monster at the end. They destroy that Sporix, and apparently when you fight a Sporix and destroy it, it goes back to that goopily form, and they become stronger. So as soon as they destroy it, Void Knight comes in, grabs it, takes it, and then we see him and Mucus back at Area 66. I think this is what they call it, and he has his little lair there where he has this machine that he's going to put Sporix into to activate this machine. So it's like, we got to get more Sporix for me to finish my plan. Meanwhile, the Red Ranger is putting out a message to everybody warning them about the Sporix. This hasn't been bad enough for me to stop watching it, like maybe I felt a little bit like Beast Morphers did. I still need to watch Beast Morphers Season 2, but I didn't love it either. So I'm still on board, still gonna keep reviewing it. Probably gonna be a segment of my show going forward and not the full episodes, because I do have some other comics and stuff I have to talk about, including the Tommy one, the Heir to the Dragon or whatever it's called. And then, of course, we have the new issues of Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers coming up soon. But yeah, solid episode of Dino Fury. Didn't love it. Had those little cheesy elements that I think Power Rangers is beyond at this point. But I didn't hate it either. I really like some of the characters. So I'm looking forward to see where this goes. What about you? What did you think of this episode of Power Rangers Dino Fury? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like Power Rangers. I'm going to be continuing to talk about Dino Fury and all the future developments that we have coming with Power Rangers. It's exciting times. Hasbro owns it. E1's going to be producing some stuff. We have movies coming. It's going to be an exciting time for Power Rangers, and the comics have been great for years. So subscribe if you want to hear me talk about all that stuff. Again, I am Jacob Bartley. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, and that'll be next Wednesday. Every Wednesday evening, I'll be posting a new episode. Until then, may the power protect you.